Stay tuned into this episode of Bearcat Update to see where both Northwest basketball teams are seeded in the MIAA tournament and the route each team must take to become MIAA champions. This is the channel that keeps you connected to Bearcat sports.
Features, highlights, interviews.
Which is also one of the best records in school history. I think it also puts a lot of pressure on us because every team is going to play us really hard.
Now back left side, Hudgens, deep three, left side, yes sir!
These runners compete at the highest level in DT sports. Let's take it from the track to the field.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the longest running sports television show at Northwest Missouri State. I'm your host, Brodie Wallace. Northwest men's basketball team claimed its 9th straight MIAA regular season championship on Saturday at Bearcat Arena. The senior duo of Diego Bernard and Trevor Hudgens put on a show for senior day, combining for 33 points in a 57-49 victory over Fort Hays State. Our reporter, Kellen McKinney, caught the action from the weekend, and what's the Bearcats expect going into the MIAA tournament?
Saturday, the Northwest Missouri State Bearcats faced Fort Hays State at Bearcat Arena in their final game of the regular season, senior night for the Bearcats' backcourt, Trevor Hudgens and Diego Bernard. As the game started, the Bearcats' defense was on lockdown, causing multiple turnovers and having the Tigers force bad shots. The Bearcats' offense was lighting it up on the Tigers' defense, shooting 54% from the field and 33% from three-point land, closing out the first half 29-15. As the second half started, the Bearcats couldn't get the lid off the basket, missing on their first 5 shots and turning the ball over twice, while the Tigers' offense started heating up, going on an 18-4 run, tying the game 33 each. The spark from the Bearcats came from Diego Bernard on this tough drive to the basket. Finally, the Bearcats' offense was rolling again, and the defense made key stops and kept the offense alive. Hudgens' shot from 3 on this fast break had Bearcat Arena alive and helped close out the Tigers 57-49. The Bearcats claimed their 9th straight regular season title and finished with a record of 25-5. Coach McCollum had this to say about the Bearcat backcourt after the game.
Is that the best backcourt in the history of Division II? I mean, from a 4-year span, I'd be hard-pressed to find any better.
I'm Kellen McKinney with Northwest Student Media. See you next time.
Thanks, Kellen. With the win Saturday, the Bearcats go into the MIAA tournament as a 2nd seed, with Central Oklahoma as the top seed in the tournament. While there might be some doubts about the firepower the Bearcats bring into the postseason, head coach Ben McCollum says his team has a chance to write its own story, saying, "They've got their own story. It's different than everybody else's story. We need to write our own. Love it, enjoy it, and have fun with it." McCollum clearly has trust that this team can etch its name into the history books this season. With that said, JD Wessel will have more information about where the Bearcats go moving forward later in the episode. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, I'll take you over to the Bearcat women's basketball team. You're watching Bearcat Update on KNWT, Channel 8.
KNWT for Hire is all about sharing a story, a message, and connecting the community. We cover a multitude of events, both within the university and Maryville. We roll in, we set up, and we capture. We're here to offer an experience, not only for those present, but for all.
Over on Gen 2, we see the release of a new game and a well-known racing series and an interesting strategy decision-based game. Then some gaming packs and Project Delta. Subscribe and turn on notifications
to stay up to date on Gen 2 episodes.
Welcome back to Bearcat Update. The Northwest women's basketball team, much like the men, had to finish off the regular season playing 4 games in just 6 days. A tough stretch of games that included a pivotal matchup against Nebraska Kearney on the road. A team the Bearcats will now face in the first round of the MIAA tournament. I caught up with the Bearcats prior to their matchup with Fort Hays State on Saturday to get their thoughts about the postseason stretch coming up. The Northwest Missouri State women's basketball team has had a tough week as they have played 4 games in a span of 8 days. In these 4 games, they faced Washburn, Emporia State, Nebraska Kearney, and Fort Hays. We got to speak with Molly Hartnett about how this stretch is affecting her as well as the team.
I love playing way more than I enjoy practicing. Obviously, it's fun to compete against other teams rather than your own team. But I think it's definitely making us better and definitely getting us prepared for the tournament.
Molly is a redshirt freshman and averages 14 points a game. With the regular season coming to an end, we got the opportunity to speak with senior Mallory McConkey. Mallory averages 7.3 points a game, and she gave us her thoughts on the season so far.
We made a big jump from last year. Obviously, we lost a lot of close games, and I don't think anybody would ever be happy with that, wishing that we could get those. But yeah, this year has been something that I won't ever forget, especially with how we've come together every year, and this year even more. It's just awesome to see the growth and the genuine, we genuinely want each other to succeed. And we've had that every year, and it's been an awesome year, and I want it to keep going.
Molly also chipped in on the topic.
I thought we've done an amazing job so far this year. We've made lots of records, and we're obviously a program on the rise, so it's fun to see where we're going, all the achievements we've made this year, and I'm excited to see where it keeps going.
The Bearcats will play in the MIAA tournament on Wednesday, March 2nd. Both Bearcat women gave us their thoughts on how they plan to succeed.
We have to, now it's pretty much win or go home. We have to be focused every game, which I also think is another thing we've done better this year, and trying to build on our confidence and keep on going up with that. And I have no doubt that we can beat any team that we meet. It's just how we go with the right mindset.
Just win, play like we know how to play, compete against all these great teams, and play defense, make shots. We come in every day, work on everything that we need to do in the game, and we just need to execute. And I think we can definitely win and compete with all the teams in the tournament.
We will keep you updated with more Northwest women's basketball as they play in the tournament. After their 4-game stretch, the women ended 2-2 this week, with 2 wins coming from Washburn and Emporia State. The Bearcats have now secured the number 6 seed in the MIAA tournament, and as Mallory said in her interview, they have to stay focused and have the right mindset in order to succeed. We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll take you into Northwest Club Baseball's 2022 season, and JD Wessel joins us for another edition of Producer's Picks. You're on Bearcat Update on KNWT, Channel 8.
With abortion being such a hot political topic,
broadcasting their show, In the Trenches, live to the KXCV KRNW station.
SAC and officers of the University Police Department were present to help coordinate the event.
The new Nottoway Humane Society is an animal shelter that houses cats and dogs here in Maryville.
Media professor Adam Bocart presented his lecture, Risk versus Chance, at the last lecture series.
Welcome back to Bearcat Update. The Northwest Club baseball team has begun action this season, and they've scheduled games with North Dakota State, Creighton, Truman State, and Wayne State. Our reporter, Stephen Crosby, caught up with the organization's club president to discuss what this season means for the team. Let's check it out.
Thank you, Brodie. The Northwest Club baseball team is preparing to start off a rigorous schedule this semester after not being able to play a regularly scheduled season for the past 2 years due to COVID-19, as well as having had to cancel and reschedule the first games of this year. The members of the club baseball team are excited to get back out onto the field and perform in front of Bearcat fans. I was able to talk to Eric Heidenescher, the president of Northwest's club baseball team, and gather his thoughts about their upcoming season.
So the goals for this season is really just be competitive within our league. History-wise, right now it's been 2 years since we've played a game because of the coronavirus. So we're just looking to be a competitive team, continue where we left off before COVID happened when we were 6-3. We were pretty decent in our conference, so that's our main goal, is just be competitive, maybe win the conference, but just want to be competitive and have fun with it. So our last game was in November down in Texas at a tournament in Dallas. We played LSU, Texas A&M, and North Texas. We competed as hard as we could. Didn't end the way we wanted it to, but we played our best. It was a really good experience for all of our guys.
The members of the club baseball team are waiting anxiously to play against some competition, with the first games of this season being against Truman State at Truman State on the 19th and 20th of March, where they will be facing tough competition. Those games will be followed by games the next week at Creighton on the 26th and 27th of March. However, for those of you who cannot travel to watch the club baseball team, the first home games of the season will be against Wayne State on April 9th and 10th. Reporting for Bearcat Update, this is Stephen Crosby. Back to you, Brodie.
Thanks, Stephen. To keep up to date with the Northwest Club Baseball team, head over to their Twitter account at NW Club Baseball 1. They will be back in action March 19th on the road with Truman State. With that, we'll send it over to JD Wessel as he's got more information about the upcoming MIAA basketball tournament.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Producer's Picks. I'm your producer, JD Wessel. As Brodie mentioned earlier, the Northwest men's basketball team will go into the MIAA tournament as the second seed. The Bearcats will enjoy the luxury of a first-round bye as they'll wait to play the winner of Missouri Western and Rogers State. The first-round bye will help the Bearcats get much-needed rest after playing 4 games in just 6 days. The first round of the MIAA tournament will tip off Wednesday, March 2nd at Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City, Missouri. The Northwest men will be in action March 3rd at 8:15, and on the other side, the Northwest women were able to secure a 6th seed in the MIAA tournament. They're set to play March 4th at 2:15. The women will match up with Nebraska Kearney, a team they struggled to match up with just 5 days ago. The Bearcats suffered a 68-51 loss on the road against the Lopers, but good news, it's March, and as we've seen many times before, the month of March is typically when all the stats, records, and doubts go out the window. Anything can happen in March, and a word of advice for Bearcat Nation would be to put those seatbelts on and get ready for some postseason action.
William on the drive. Pull up, got it! She got it! From Jesperson, half-court heave for the win. Ogunbowale for the win. Good! Oh! At midcourt. Jenkins gives it to Jenkins for the championship.
If you aren't able to make it out to Kansas City for the tournament, you can always give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram for highlights and coverage of the games at Bearcat Update _8. The MIAA will be also providing coverage on the MIAA network, so you won't have to miss any of the Bearcat action this upcoming week. Good luck to both teams on their goal of capturing that MIAA championship. That's all I have for this week on Producer's Pick. I'm JD Wessel, kicking it back to you, Brodie.
Thanks, JD. I'm glad you finally realized that the best host should be the one to close out the show. With that, we're going to wrap things up for this week's episode of Bearcat Update. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Bearcat Update _8. The link can be found in the description below. And as always, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and the bell to stay updated with new episodes from KNWT Channel 8. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
This is the channel that keeps you connected to Bearcat sports. Features, highlights, interviews.
Which is also one of the best records in school history. I think it also puts a lot of pressure on us because every team is going to play us really hard.
Now back left side, Hudgens, deep three, left side, yes sir!
These runners compete at the highest level in D2 sports. Let's take it from the track to the field.
Thank you for watching Bearcat Update Week 4. If you missed last week's episode, be sure to click here. And for a playlist of past episodes, click here. We'll see you next week.